Hey guys, and welcome to the Kaykov Podcast. Here we have special guests. One of them is our co-host, Mr. Boris Amenov,
Hey.
and Mr. Oleg Borukhov.
Hello.
Oleg Borukhov here is a venture capitalist, yeah, something like that we can say.
Well, he has two babies. We're going to talk about.
Yes.
Real estate brokerage that I'm a co-founder of,
Uh-huh.
and a real estate appraisal firm that I've been CEO of for the past 20 years.
Amsterdam Appraisals.
Amsterdam Appraisal Services. That's
I'm
right.
excited to digest this.
Let's digest.
I want to start something because this is me and Boris's first. So, as any business that starts, grab a $5 bill.
Why so little, bro? Where's the
Because it's
$100
a
bill?
hops of five. It's a good luck thing.
Okay.
Put a little
You shut
wording.
me up.
You could put your business name on it, your name. After that, we'll take a close-up picture.
All right.
So this will be like our Hall of Fame of hopefully a lot more $5 bills coming into our pocket.
Amen. Let it shine.
Let it shine, baby.
Boom, that's for us, Papa.
Nice.
First journey start off.
You know, my signature costs money, so.
Well,
Let's see.
We'll keep in mind.
Let's hope we're not going to go broke with this podcast, so we won't have to sell it.
So once I opened up the company, I worked it from home to start. You know, I worked upstairs in my bedroom, then I went downstairs to the basement, and then, you know, I was planning, and I was like, I need a storefront. And then one day I'm walking by Main Street down Vly, and I see a little, you know, it used to be, I believe it was Tamina Ambulance. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
So they had like a little office on Vly across the street from Stepping Stone.
Yes.
And it was vacant. I went in, I saw the number, I called them up. The guy didn't pick up on me, calls me back. You know, I left a message, calls me back 3 days later. He's like, yeah, you know, I got your message. If you want to come see it, I'm here now. I said, okay, no problem. Got dressed.
You're not that far away.
Now 2 blocks, you know, 7:30 in the morning. My dad was someone, was like, yo, Pops, come with me. Let's go check it out. I went, checked it out, negotiated the whole thing right there on the spot. You know, like, rent was cheap back then. So signed the deal, got the location, and it started.
What year was that?
09.
Why I'm asking, because in 08, I also got a small spot, my
Right.
first spot with my brother.
Right
In
after
2008,
you.
yes, on Elliott Avenue. Oh my God, 700 square feet.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then I basically came to Boris. I was like, Boris, I need a sign. I was like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
need
you
business
did this?
cards. I need business cards, and I need a sign.
Yo, back then we did a sick business card, I tell you, no?
Yeah. And I still use the same business card till today.
Yeah.
You know, it's the sign is now different,
Mhm.
but I got a different office. But you know, the business card was a popper.
All right, so who was the first? So you got the storefront on Main Street popping.
Yeah.
Excited?
I was super excited. You know, I was super
How many
excited.
of the boys went in with you?
Nobody went in with me. I was all on my own. And then I put a couple of ads out there to start getting people to come. You know, whatever appraisers wanted to come. Whatever.
How did you drive traffic? How does that work? How does that industry work? How do
Especially
you
at
get-
that time. I don't
Yeah.
think there's no Twitter, no Facebook.
No, none
no,
of that.
back then,
You know, it was
back
like
then there was no
thick
Twitter, no
book of yellow
Facebook.
pages.
I handed out flyers. I did a lot of mailers.
Flyers, what? So you drove office to
I-
office?
I went to Jamaica Avenue, Hillside Avenue,
Door knocking.
door knocking, basically to businesses, to other real estate companies, to attorneys, to accountants. Just going out there, talking to people, handing out my business cards, just letting people know what I do. You know, I always say if people don't know you, then you can't make money.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know, in order to make money, people have to know who you are, where you are, and what you're doing. And from there, you know, it's just
Was that
little by little, it kind of picked up. There's also in this industry, you know, there's two ways. There's private appraisals, and then there's working for lenders and institutions.
All right, so break that down for us a little bit.
So when you're working for lenders and institutions, you know, you basically sign on to. You got to get approved.
Okay. So that's another approval besides the
That's another approval. You got to sign on to them, fill out applications. They go through your credentials. They approve you. Either they work with you or they don't. You know, and then they put you on a panel and they put you on a rotation basis and they send you work. You know, it's all about fees. If you're cheap enough,
Yeah,
they'll send you to work. If you're expensive, then it's gonna take some time.
Yeah.
You know, at that point, you got to have experience. And you want to charge more, you got to have experience.
You build your portfolio.
You build your portfolio.
Totally fine.
I wasn't the cheapest. I never believed in, you know, setting the bar low.
Yeah.
I always believed in, you know, setting the bar high. You charge what you're worth. And at that time, I knew what I knew, and I knew what I thought the prices were to charge, and that's what I charged.
So how long we've been running this company before you started your second baby, which is
ValueTruth. So I've been doing Amsterdam Appraisals. I've been running it since 2009.
But hold on. So you forgot the most biggest factor. In 2009, you got the spot. It was a fire.
Oh, the fire. So the fire happened 5 years ago, actually,
Oh,
6 years ago.
fire.
Yeah.
So how many years passed since? How
So
long did you have that office?
We're in 05. The fire, I believe, happened in like 18 or 19. I don't remember.
I remember that fire broke out. I see it on Facebook. I contact him. I'm like, yo, is that your building on fire there? He goes
Oh,
like,
actually, no, the fire was even longer.
it was a while. Oh, yeah.
It was more than 6 years ago.
No, it was definitely more. They already
Yeah.
finished building the building.
Yeah, they finished building the building. They put it up already. They're already renting it.
So it's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been a while, definitely.
Probably close to like 8 years.
Yeah, and I kind of like, yeah, I'm away right now, but
why you on
I was
vacation?
I was in Costa. So I was with my wife, my girlfriend at the time. It's my wife now, but we were in Costa Rica, and I get a phone call from my cousin Danny, and he's like, "Yo, your office is burning," and I'm so tired. I'm like, "What do you mean, yo?" I'm like, "Yo, I'll call you later. I'm going to sleep. I just got off the plane. I was exhausted. I knocked out for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes." He calls me again. I pick up the phone, and in the back, he called me on video, and in the back, I see like
The fire?
a huge fire. He's
I'm
like,
getting the
"Oh,
chills
look, your
right now.
office
too.
is burning."
Same.
And I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't believe it. The whole place is just smoldering. It's
How
smoldering.
did you process this through your head?
I didn't know
Can you
what
tell
to think at that point. I was like, yo, my whole life, is in that
me?
store.
Listen, I know you worked there for 15, 18, 20 hours. I know.
Yeah. I put in a lot of time,
Of
a lot
course.
of time in there. And when I see this burning, I'm like, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to think.
Did you finish the vacay at least, or you came back early?
No, I finished. My wife was like, "Listen, let's relax, process it. Don't worry about it. When you get back, you'll deal with it. Just right now,
Yeah.
You're here.
you're here. You just got here.
So hard to do.
Make the best of it.
Are you kidding me?
Without her, I wouldn't. I don't know how I would have got through it. At the same time, I had a book with me called "Unfuck Yourself."
Oh, fuck yourself.
Never heard of that, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started reading that book, and that kind of put me in a state of taking me out of the turmoil and the depression that I was like kind of going into because of this, and it kind of like, you know what? Everything is gonna be okay.
Right.
Everything's gonna be okay. You're gonna come back, and I'm gonna regroup, and I'm gonna start fresh. Just give me an opportunity to kind of
clean yourself.
clean yourself up, clean slate, and make something new.
Reset.
Reset.
So
Exactly.
let me ask you another question. You had the files, server, all of that.
Everything burnt down.
So how did you recoup?
I had to start from scratch.
No fucking way. Whatever you had on your phone,
Whatever
all the
I
contacts, that's all who you contacted just to get started.
whatever I
Wow.
could have gathered up, whatever I had in my emails that I could have pulled up,
Crazy.
that's what it was.
Let's
You
say
can't make
your
money
son
right
is
away.
18 years old and he's motivated to work. Would you put him in your business? Depending which part.
If I'm already, because I'm already established and stuff, yeah, I would bring him in and I would teach him the ropes and I'd have him flow. I'd eventually pass it along.
Do you think he should take it to a different level? Logically, that's how it's supposed to be.
I mean, obviously, he's gonna leave a legacy if his son is with him, so he's gonna leave the whole empire.
Absolutely.
But what I think Boris is asking is that something that you would recommend to your son to be in,
That's
or
what
you
you
gonna
said,
tell
course,
him,
yeah.
you said,
or you're gonna tell him go to school and become a lawyer or a doctor?
Listen, I would always say become a lawyer, become a doctor, and you could always do this on the side. You can start with this and do
Can
that.
this possibly be a side business?
It can. It started out for me. It started out as a side business, and then it got to be a full-time business. I was doing it part-time, and then I started doing it full-time. It takes a good 5 years, I would say, in this business to start making money.
What is it? Because you need to be noticed? Is it because
You need to have the experience. You need to have the hours. You need to really gain a knowledge base on different types of properties that are out there, different types of valuation.
What is that? Are we talking about commercial? We're talking about industrial? Is there like?
So
I mean, like I'm not in that business, so that's why.
So I started off with residential. I'm a certified residential appraiser.
Okay.
About 8 years ago, I took my general commercial courses. And I started working on my hours. I just completed all my hours. I'm about to submit it and go take the commercial exam. But I've been working on commercial properties for the past probably 8 years, also.
And that's under somebody else's license, or
So I have a mentor. I have a supervisor. I have a commercial. I have a general appraiser that works with me now. This guy Alex, he's elderly, but he's amazing. He's been an amazing mentor for me. He showed me the ropes. He explained to me a lot of things, and anytime I have problems or issues, I always go to him.
so you're constantly learning.
What I was for the guys that worked for me, he is for me. So I'm constantly learning. Every 2 years, you got to take continuing education courses in this business, just like a real estate agent, real estate broker.
Let me ask you a question. How big of a difference is the commercial and residential? Is there a big difference? Really?
In terms of the amount that you can charge for an appraisal, yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Commercial is much more.
Commercial is much more, yeah. Commercial is much more.
Wow.
Is it more complicated?
Yeah. Probably the same.
It's different.
As a consumer, like say Jamaica Estates or Fresh Metals or the high-end areas, and you're looking at a house, you look at it and the price of it is $850,000, but out of nowhere the real estate agent says like, no, you're gonna have to give more, and you're like, how? If they're listing it for $850,000, why do I have to pay $1 million for it?
Well, I mean, listen, that's something that we got to speak to the real estate agent about, right? But
you know how that's how
they're
all of
testing
them
the sometimes they're testing the market. Sometimes they're seeing how badly do you want the property.
But it's also recorded if they don't sell, which sucks.
What do you mean? You mean like it's listed?
Of course, it's listed for, let's say, $850, and you take it off market because it wasn't sold, and then they re-put it again in 6 months for $800, and the values, they have those moments also.
Yeah, they do. I mean, there's probably something wrong with
value of the property.
There's probably something wrong with the property if it hasn't sold, or if maybe it's not properly priced. It wasn't properly priced in the beginning. That's why,
But I think that's the new trend now. From what I'm seeing, and I just bought a property. I'm out in East, and over there it's totally different. You're buying here in Queens. When I was shopping around with my wife, it's like they put it at $850, but they know the property will get. I'm not sure if
people overbid.
Will overbid.
Of course, that's what happens because there is a demand.
So in this area here, the demand is more than what the value of the property is. I'm not sure if I'm asking what I want to ask you correctly. Are you understanding what I'm trying to
say? Yeah,
say?
so
the prices are induced based on the people who are.
Why there's no restrictions of that? Why is there like no regulations where a property is worth $850 but somebody just paid 1.1 because
free market society? You know what I mean? Like you're basically paying for what you want. If you want the property, you'll overpay for it. If you don't want it, then you're gonna back out.
Well, majority of the time.
If you can't afford it, then it's not for you.
But I can afford the $850. I just can't afford the 1.1 that he paid for.
Right.
That's the problem.
So that's what it is with fair market value, right? It's open to market participants. So he's a market participant, you're a market participant. You're in the same market. You're capped at a certain amount, but you're looking at the same property. So if there's somebody else in the market that is willing to pay more for it, then
it's like they wipe you out.
They pay more.
You come in, you're all happy, and you're about to get a piece of pussy because you're about to buy your wife the house of her dreams, and then you offer the $850. You're not even arguing. We'll take it, and then the real estate agent calls you. Yeah, somebody came to see it right after you. They gave her one.
Look, a lot of times these realtors,
they could lie.
Yeah, they're not being truthful all the time. Sometimes they want to see. They're trying to test you. A lot of times people test the market. They test the buyers,
I did have an incident. One of my relatives was buying a house in Roslyn area. The house was listed for 2.5. The real estate agent called. He gave an offer 2.25. She said, no, so we won't take your price. They dropped them. Took a couple of months. They called them back. We accepted your offer.
After a couple of months.
Somebody else basically backed out. They were probably testing it.
The house is valued at $850,000, the whole community around that area, right? Now, but the houses are selling for 1.1, 1.2. Now, as an appraiser, this area here is worth at anywhere from $850 to $1 million, but somebody bought for 1.2, 1.3. People are knocking their houses down, building. So how do you convince the bank to give them that money?
So my job isn't to convince the bank, right? My job is to show the bank what it's actually worth. So I compile together a report. I provide it to the bank reviews it, they have underwriters, reviewers, and then, based off of the fact, because I give facts. But my opinion is based on fact.
So you're, at this moment, since there's the three categories that we still didn't finish talking about, So what are you using? You're using the comps around the community.
So
you're using that.
So for residential properties, that's 1 to 4 family. We look at the comps, the sales comparison approach. That's the primary value, primary driving factor for the value, right? It's the comps. If something's closed and it's already recorded, then we can utilize it. We also look at listings, current active listings, but we have to look at like for like. So if something's selling for 1.2, I'm gonna review it. I'm gonna look into the MLS. I'm gonna speak to the agent. I'm gonna try to find out why did that sale sell for 1.2, and this one is selling for less, or the property that, let's say, we're appraising is at like 850 or 900.
And let me ask you another quick. What's this whole famous saying that they're offering all cash? What's the difference when you're getting a mortgage?
No mortgage contingency.
That's different. That's different.
It's different. But
That's
they
different.
say, but they don't always follow through with that.
That's different. So all cash doesn't mean all greenbacks.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I'm saying.
It just means that
when
you're not going to have
mortgage.
a
When you're getting a mortgage, they're still
cash.
getting cash. Like, I don't understand that. It's like, yeah, but he offered all cash. I'm like,
The time.
It's the
So
timing, that's
an
right.
average mortgage.
20 days, 25 days I closed on a house.
Yeah, because you had all the funds ready to go.
But
You
the
had
same-
a
but the-
pre-approval letter.
That's
But
right.
the
and
same
what
thing
it
with
is.
the cash. You cannot just bring a bag. This has to be all filtered
no,
through the bank.
they don't mean
Cash.
by bringing a bag. They mean a check that's already in your account.
It's not like
all
how the
cash.
Italians used
you
to
can
do
close within 5 days, 3 days, 2 days, next day.
it. Can you?
All cash, yeah, that's what it means. All cash means that if you have the money,
Yeah, there's no
I can
mortgage
clo- I can-
contingency,
yeah, I can close tomorrow. No mortgage contingency. But that you would have to specify that in your contract if it's a no mortgage contingency. Do I recommend people doing that?
I think that's like the most stupidest way to do it.
Well, if you listen, I had a situation like this. I was house shopping. I gave an offer on a house. It was $850, and I gave a full asking offer. Beautiful, great. Somebody else comes in, cash deal, just like you said,
I don't understand.
and they take it down. I wasn't happy with the place, but I'm like, all right, I don't have a choice. I have to settle now, and I was about to take it. I wasn't happy with the area, but I wanted to take it already.
Anyway, when you're signing an agreement with the seller, if you don't get approved, even though you have the prior approval letter and all that, they still eat a certain amount of money,
So
20, 30 grand or something like that.
If you write it in the
lose.
contract, you are able to take it back. It's whatever's written in
Yeah,
the contract.
it's how your attorneys.
So your attorneys have to look over.
Language is very important.
Yeah.
Contract language is very important.
So your attorney has to watch out for your back.
So the
That's right.
$2,000 lawyer is not worth it. You got to get the 8,000.
No $2,000 lawyer does the job.
It's I think that every person, even though they get an attorney, every person should read the contract.
That thing was huge.
Yeah, take time, sit down with your wife, go through the contract,
Okay, let's be straight.
skim through it. There's certain clauses.
Not everybody graduated as a
Exactly.
English major.
Are you kidding me?
You could skim through it. Like you see, there's certain. Well, now you can go to
I think
ChatGPT,
that's
upload,
true.
upload it, be like, "Yo, review this
I
for me.
think-
Let
Tell
me
it
know
to you
what's
in
up."
Chinese.
I think an average lawyer should definitely pinpoint
Yes.
those things to you.
Yes.
And if that's a mistake, that's on them.
That's-
technically.
yes.
Because they are your lawyers. You're paying for that service.
Yeah, but it's also so, I feel like it's also so corrupt because the real estate agent is the one that recommends you the lawyer. The lawyer is aware of the seller. The seller
If you're a
is aware.
bullshit, then yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's of course. If you're a bullichka, definitely you get bullich. You get
All right, so
all day, no Vaseline.
So we got a little. So let's get back. You were breaking down the whole situation with the difference between the private sector when it comes down to appraisals and the sector that you discussed and finished off with
Private
For-
equity.
For lending, no,
For
it's
lending.
not private
Oh,
equity.
yeah.
It's lending. Yeah.
Okay.
So, what do you want to know?
I'll take all the information. Wherever you want to start and pause and continue.
Well, we were getting at. We were talking about
The commercial,
the commercial, right?
and the surrounding area and all that.
Right. So, there's a sales comparison approach, right? And then with commercial, there's the income approach. It's based on what's the potential income
Of that property.
of the property that the property can generate, right? Or is generating. There's that's how commercial properties are valued mainly. That's where forced appreciation happens. You could buy a commercial building for one price today, and the rents increase by a little bit, and you add stuff and you renovate and whatever it is. And
Yeah, you present it to the bank, and this is the value of the rental.
How different is it
like-
after the pandemic? I'll give you an incident. One of my friends just bought a 12 out in Comac. He bought a shopping center with 12 storefronts, which had, I think, I think he had a Dollar Tree or something like that. So how different is it now than it was before? Now the whole lot is vacant. All of them closed down. Dollar Tree, is going underground. Wingstop left out of there. A few other, they had a dog shopping center, like where you grew the dogs.
So now the shopping center is completely vacant?
Completely vacant, but for the last 15 years before that, it was making money. The last 3 years during the pandemic, everybody left.
How did he buy it? Did he buy it vacant?
He bought it vacant, yeah. So
he's going to make money.
He's definitely going to make money. But what I'm saying is that you're saying that you're looking
Does
at
the value decrease?
the value. You have the guy showing you, this is what I made the last 15 years because of the pandemic. This is where I'm at. So what are you going to estimate the
You got to look at fair market value. So we're looking at fair market rents at that point. We got to take a look at the
how back you going to go?
You can go back up to 2 years, but
Wow.
primarily.
But what if you
Primarily, you want to look at comps that are within, that are within the year or 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. You got to look at other properties that rented similar to this, similar square footage, similar
You have right
use
across
case.
the street. You have a Stop and Shop.
Yeah.
You have Walgreens. Those other ones are working. It just happens to be that certain of those other businesses that he rented out are collapsing, going on.
Right. So it's not we don't look at that point. You're not going to look at the business. You're going to look at the retail store and see what you can rent it out for to a different business, right? A good appraiser will have a database of comps, rental comps at that point that he can pull up and see what other properties are renting for, and based off of that, he can derive a value. He'll calculate what the rents should be minus the expenses. They figure out a cap rate, or your capitalization rate, your return on your money, and based off of that, they'll derive a value. So when it's vacant, or there's one tenant in there, or below market rents, the value is lower. When it's occupied and you actually have physical leases and the rents are higher, then the value is higher. That's the banks will loan based on the income, the net operating income.
Mm-hmm.
How far would they go back for this?
2 years.
2 years, so top.
So the comps, the comps you go back up to 2 years. If there's no comps, you go back a little bit more, or you could go further out in distance. But generally speaking, it's really based off of a market analysis. A year, 2 years, like for like rental comps, like for like sales comps. Those are the two ways of really looking at property, sales and income. The third way is cost approach. Cost approach is typically used for new construction stuff. It's how much it would cost, the actual price that it would cost to build something.
So how do you evaluate that? You go to contractors, get 5 different quotes, you do bids.
So you would look at bids, you would look at contractors' estimates. There's something called Marshall Swift cost estimators, builders cost estimators.
How does that calculate it?
You would gather it's price per square foot.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
How much would it cost for a new construction price per square foot right now?
What is the rate these days? What you would say? Hold on. Before you say, what do you think is the rate?
Boris is the builder here.
Boris, what do you think is an average rate today? What do you think?
I am out of the loop on this.
Hold on, time out.
I'm digesting everything he's saying because it's so interesting to me that. So you guys finish this off, and then I have a question for him regarding.
Okay.
I mean, you can
because you do invest on the side.
We do invest. Yeah, we do investments. I work a lot with developers and stuff like that. So I mean, look, right now, you can build a 5,000 square foot property for about like $1.2 million, $1.3 million, up to $1.5 million.
Residential.
Yeah, commercial. It depends on what you're going to put in there. Typically vanilla boxing it, 200, 225, 250.
How drastically has that changed from 4 years ago?
Prices went up.
Double.
Because of the different materials they're using, or
different materials.
What is popular now? The whole Chinese thing going still, or are we using everybody's drifting towards the American American standard, and like what do you prefer? What is more easier to work with? And
obviously, I think American made is the quality still stands.
Yeah, but when he's a developer, does he really care about that?
Not necessarily, but you do want a good, reasonable
You want a good
quality.
product. I mean, your cost basis is very important too. You know,
So what are you gonna sacrifice? The quality or the cost?
I would rather sacrifice cost than quality, but
it goes into your profits.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but if he's a flipper
But
and
if-
he's gonna, to him, like
When
what
you're flipping a property, you know, it depends on who your target audience is. Are you doing it
Correct.
for a rental, or are you doing it for somebody to live there a long time, or are you doing it for a commercial property? You know what I mean? It really depends on who your target audience is.
So for a rental, you go cheap.
For a rental, you wouldn't want to go high end
Correct.
because you're you know, in a rental, the turnover is a year,
Slow.
2 years, whatever it is. Tenants often mess up your stuff. You're gonna have to change it out.
That's
You know,
what
if
it
you're gonna
is.
get quality stuff, you're still gonna break quality stuff. Still gonna have to replace things. So in a rental, yeah,
What's
you
the
go,
point of really going into quality if it's still gonna break, bro? Tell me. Can you explain this situation? So
Right.
so I
different
know.
depreciation.
I know there's people renovating their houses, right? There's a toilet for $300 and there's a toilet for $500.
I think it's the
$5,000.
I think it's like a
It does the same
self-pride.
fucking thing.
self-pride type of thing.
Ego kills, bro.
I mean, I'm just
Whoa, you're gonna come to this bathroom
I got
toilet
a
right here for
$5,000 gold
$5,000.
listen. Everybody wants to live in Dubai, no?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, look, if you're doing it for yourself, then I would say go quality.
what,
right?
$5,000 for a toilet?
If it's gonna make you feel good and you're gonna wake up
Yeah,
in the morning saying, "Yo, I'm sitting on a $5,000 toilet. I made it in
You
life.
just concurred me. You see? It's
I
all
made it in life. I can shit in gold
about- I don't know.
or on gold. You know, like
Maybe the standards of life for me is different.
The shit stink the same
the
way.
same. Right.
And
But certain people
the
look-
same water flushes.
well, look at it like this. It's like, would you rather drive a Mercedes or would you drive a
It's
Kia?
a different. It's you're driven differently. You drive. You enjoy yourself. It's a
Same thing
different
when you come
feel.
home. When you come home and you walk into a house and you see brand new, state of the art kitchen, nice bathroom, ceramic tiles,
But you know what's
heated
fucked up?
floors.
Those state of the art of the kitchens, the wives don't cook in them.
Because they don't know how to use
Well, your
them, or
chef
they just
puts
don't.
in 'em, right?
You out of nowhere, your Shabbat dinner is from Kobe, you know? The 150 promotion.
I mean, look, it's. I think
But you think? Sorry, I'm gonna interrupt you.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a purpose of buying a $5,000 toilet?
no,
I think it's an immigrant thing.
no.
I think it's like an accomplishment.
Why?
Nah,
Why?
nah, nah.
Look at. I heard. What's his name? Mr. Putin. He has a toilet. It's like, I don't know, $100,000, $200,000 toilet, something, and he has a house. Is that true? I don't know.
I don't
Did
know.
you hear about that?
I have never met him. We should ask Trump.
All right.
He's probably going to estimate one of his values because
Listen, you
they
know-
underestimated a whole bunch of his buildings in New York. No, there was a whole mess going
Yeah,
on.
that
with
was a whole. That was a.
I think that was all bullshit.
That was
no?
all. That was all BS.
What do you, as an appraiser, what do you think about that?
It's all BS. I mean, there's different valuations. A property can be worth many different things to many different people. There's different ways of looking at it. Value isn't the same all the time, you know, and it depends on the circumstance and situation. You know, there's market value. Like I said, there's disposition value. There's liquidation value. There's different types of value. You know, there's called regular market value, fair market value.
If Brad Pitt lived in that building, does the value go up or down?
Depends on who's asking. You know, some people like Brad
Yeah,
Pitt, some people don't.
Correct. If there's another person who wants to live and be a neighbor of Brad Pitt, you're gonna pay the price. I'm
So
sure.
why they underestimated him? Because 90% of all his apartments are not even vacant; they're all full.
Brad
Am I
Pitt?
correct? No,
Or Trump's?
What Brad Pitt?
I don't know,
I'm
you
talking
could-
Trump. I'm just saying, out
Listen,
of curiosity,
with that
they
whole thing
lowered
that-
him by like $400 million or something like that, right?
Yo, that was so ridiculous. With that whole thing, there's reviewers, there's multiple appraisals that are done. It's, you know, there's people and systems that come into place in order to make sure that they're not overvalued or undervalued. You know, there's checks and balances that go
Firms,
on.
of course. This is
You know,
what
the
they do.
bank, no bank is going to loan you.
But they gave it to him. The banks gave him that
yeah,
money.
they gave
right?
him the money because they
So-
checked out. The values checked out. The income's checked out. The rent's checked out. Whatever it was, they loaned it, and he paid it back. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was damaged. You know what I mean? So I personally think that it was a whole, you know,
Witch hunt type
It was a
thing?
witch hunt. Yeah. I mean, his properties are
Value.
some nice properties.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Look
like
what he did after Dragsneg. That thing was a shithole over there.
the golf course.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I listen. I
Trump,
worked.
Trump Links. It's not his anymore. I think, right?
I have no idea, but I worked in my yard when I had the scaffolding company. Was there? I
remember
passed
that.
through this shit for 5 years, twice a day. So that thing was a fucking crack hole USA over there. And now
He fixed it up. They made it nice.
He made it dope, man. You
Yeah.
pass through there, you look like you don't even notice that you're
Nice little
getting
country club, huh?
Yeah, you don't even notice that you're getting into the Bronx, and then 2 exits down, you see, oh shit, I am in the Bronx. So he did. Listen, he's a magician.
Yeah.
He's a magician.
I mean, look, it's forced appreciation. He renovated a slump. You know, it was worth one thing. He put money into it, put value. He value add, how they say. You know,
Value add?
Yeah, value add. You know, he added value.
Added value.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, in the real estate world, they say value add. Right?
Okay.
Are you buying something with value add? Like, can you give me some value add?
I just learned something.
So are we going back to the history, or are we just gonna keep going with the what we're curious about?
I think whatever we're curious about, what everybody else is curious about.
What do you think about the whole Lindenhurst that happened with the flood, and now the properties around there that were bought for like 100,000 and now are going for over 700,000-800,000?
Yo, Lindenhurst right now is increasing.
Like crazy, even though they're still getting floods. They're
Yeah,
just about
yeah.
2 foot.
So how does that work?
No, they raised the properties. Correct me if I'm wrong, Zone B became Zone A, Zone C became Zone B. So they extended the insurance policy more up. So it used to be Zone A used to be 3 blocks away from the water, and now it became 6 blocks away. Correct? Is that the way?
I don't have the flood map in front of me.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Do they
things did
elevate
shift.
also?
So whatever that was, so the criteria again, I might be wrong. That's why I'm trying to.
Because
Pull some info.
Yeah. So the way it was that Zone B did not need the flood insurance, but now the criteria changed that Zone B up to C.5 needs it, and D everything else is don't need the flooding insurance policy, something like that, and everything up to Zone B needs to be elevated 3.5 feet.
Same thing happened in Far Rockaway, and after after Sandy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, Freeport also, like a lot of these waterfront communities or canal communities, they all have this flooding issue.
Yeah, but they have insurance technically.
No. It works. Can you break down the whole as an appraiser, the way you help them as well, because they need you to appraise the property once it gets flooded, or for them to qualify for a certain insurance, correct?
Right,
You do
so
that
that-
part? You do
No,
that part?
I do insurance appraisals as well. But that works a little bit differently. I mean, that works based on depreciation and we come in there, we assess what the damage is. And
Now, who hires you? Sorry, the owner or the insurance, or you work for both?
I work for both. I mean, I'm an independent fee appraiser, so that means that anyone can hire me, to help them, right? So I'll work with private individuals, I'll work with insurance companies, I'll work with banks, I'll work with everyone. Based on a scope of work that they provide to me, that's how we do it. Obviously everything that we do is it's private,
Confidential.
and confidential.
That's the-
I don't talk about my clients or anything like that. But everything we do is confidential, and anyone can hire me. But the appraisals the person that hires me, they become the intended user, right? The intended user is who's using the value or the appraisal for what purpose, right? There's an intended use and intended user. So in that case, in the case that you're talking about, if we're doing it for insurance purposes, then we're assessing the property in its as-is condition after the damage, and what it would have been worth prior to the damage.
How do you prove that?
Based on the comps.
So prior to the damage would be based on comps, and then after the damage, I'd work with either an engineer, a home inspector, a contractor to see what the damage is, to calculate what the cost of repairs would be, and then we get a value after the fact as well.
Is it more than one appraiser that comes and evaluates that from, let's say, from insurance, from the bank?
Sometimes there's 2 appraisers. Sometimes it could be me, and then some other guy somebody else hires. You know what I mean? So,
But you cannot collaborate technically.
No, I mean no, because we don't on that. You don't collaborate. I mean the reason it's done is
Just to make
checks
sure.
and balances.
Yeah,
you know? So whenever I complete an appraisal, I'm always thinking in the back of my mind that there's going to be A, somebody else reviewing it, and B, there could always be a different appraisal that's being done. So it's very important to be accurate. It's very important to be factual and to have support.
Are you still hands-on with everything, or you're sending out your workers? How to?
I'm
like,
very
what-
much hands-on with all the appraisals that come in through my office. Very much hands-on. I have other guys that
So
do it,
you-
but I'm always reviewing them. I'm always, choosing the comps or going through the comps and making
So
sure that
every
everything's
file passes through your desk no matter what.
has to.
Okay.
If my signature is going on it, then yeah, it has to.
Mm-hmm.
Another question. Did you ever have that incident where, say, you appraised the property for the property holder, and then the bank did something else, and then there was a some type of, I don't know if it happens, some type of court situation, and then they call you in, and they call the other appraiser, and then you guys kind of like battle it out or type of thing, or like, I don't know what the term for that is, but just out of curiosity.
Disputes and stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, there's arbitrations that happen. There's disputes that happen. One person thinks your property's worth something, and another person.
How do you
thinks
walk in there with what kind of guns?
Listen, you got to have support. Everything that I present, I have support for. You know what I mean? It's factual data, backed up factual data. It has to be a very defensible report.
Who do you usually fight that? The insurance company?
No. I'm not fighting. I don't fight.
Not
against
fight it, but you're going there on behalf of your client, right?
So it depends. If I'm going there as an appraiser, then I'm going there to defend my appraisal.
Okay.
I'm not going there to defend the client. I'm
Right.
going there to defend what
Because they're gonna.
the value that I said
Yeah,
that.
well, obviously, in
Right.
the end, that's.
I'm not I'm not kind of how do you say it? I'm not there to steer the client in a specific direction. I'm there to tell them factual information.
evidence.
The
What it
property
is.
is worth this much in this condition. This is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not there to
Yeah,
skew anything or manipulate anything. That's not that.
And if
that-
he doesn't like it, does he?
if he doesn't, yeah, I've had instances where you've underappraised my property, or it's like, listen, if you can give me supporting information that states otherwise, I'll consider it.
He hires another appraiser.
If he has another appraisal, and you want to provide me with that other appraisal, I'll take a look at it. Obviously, if there's a mistake that I made, I'll hone up and own it, and I'll make the correction. But if
It
the other
doesn't make
appraisal
sense.
doesn't make sense, and he's just trying to, to skew me, or like,
Did you have those incidents before?
I tend not to deal with things like that.
But how do you know if it's somebody hires you and he's trying to pull some
You
type
know,
of thing and say, listen, this property?
overvalue or
Yeah.
under.
Yeah, no, I don't deal with stuff like that.
Do you notice that before you take the contract on, or is it something that's happening while the process is
When
going on?
when I talk to the client, I'll know.
Yeah, well, how hungry he is.
Yeah, I'll know what they're, if they're looking for something specific, like, I'm like, listen, I can't give you what you want. I can give you what the factual information is. It is what it is. And then if there's support that states otherwise, we can always look into it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? When it's private, when I'm consulting privately, it's a private consultation. That's different. When I'm
What does that
appraising-
mean? What's
So aside from appraising as an appraiser, I also do consulting.
that's the second baby that you developed?
No, it's part of Amsterdam.
Okay.
The second baby that I develop is a real estate brokerage.
Okay.
It's a ValueTruth Real Estate Advisors. My wife, me and my wife are co-founders. She's the broker, and I'm
And what's the name of that one?
ValueTruth Real Estate Advisors.
Got it.
Yeah.
Just to make sure.
ValueTruth.com. Go get your home search on. But yeah, so that's a real estate company. That's a real estate firm.
Where are you guys based off?
We're on Queens Boulevard.
Okay.
We're between 75th and 76th on Queens Boulevard.
Prime location, baby.
Yeah. So that firm deals with commercial real estate, residential real estate, buying, selling, renting, fix and flips.
So through there you were investing.
Yeah, through there, that's a separate, that's an investment company, and it's a real estate investment company and a real estate brokerage. That's that, But the appraisal company, it kind of, it got me to a point where I understand the market in such a way
Yeah.
that now
You could play around.
I can through the I can I can make some money, so now I can play around. And the other company is I offer consulting services as well. Consulting services in terms of how to do capital advisory, where to get money, how to get the money, how to structure deals. How there's something called fix and flips.
Is that like a course you're offering? or
Or is somebody hiring?
I do. Somebody hires me as a consultant on an individual basis. You know, I'll work with them. Sometimes it's per project. Sometimes it's a yearly thing. You know,
So when he hires you, so are you on that project? Are you an investor there, or are you?
depends.
advisor.
I'm
No,
an advisor.
advisor,
I go as an advisor.
He could recommend stuff to them as an advisor, but if he sees something in the project, is he gonna present?
Sometimes I go in as equity.
Yeah.
Equity partners.
All
yeah.
depends. If the project makes sense,
Listen,
you
I'm
go
try-
in. I hear you.
I own one house,
Yeah, so
For now.
so I want to know.
So something also crossed my mind right now. What are your thoughts? There's a lot of people who are buying houses. They're converting from one bedroom, one family to a two family. How does that process work? Are you familiar with these things?
I always recommend somebody, you know, to speak to an architect. But
An architect has to. But does it based also on the comps if people already have done it?
if it's
before?
worth it. So first thing you got to look at is you got to look at zoning.
Correct.
Right, zoning is the most important thing in anything.
Well, what if the zoning doesn't provide?
If the zoning doesn't allow you to do a two family, then you can't do a two family.
No way. But there's people who do it. No, or am I
Not
wrong?
legally.
No, legally, I'm saying.
I mean,
It's a process.
you would need to get a variance then at that point.
What's that?
Variance is basically a permission slip.
Uh-huh.
Usually the corner houses get that, right? Because the way the corner houses are split, sometimes like say Queens Boulevard will be approved for it, but the inner streets 69th won't be approved. So there's
If
ways
it's split zoning,
You
so
can't.
you sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You get it.
So you could play around with that a little bit, no? Somehow.
I would say speak to an architect.
Got it.
You know, that's not something that I tend to deal with all the time. Like I would consult an architect.
Got it.
You
Yeah.
as an advisor, do you also say, this could be a two-family house legally?
Yeah,
or-
I mean, I can take a look at the property. I can take a look at the zoning. I'll evaluate the comps. I'll look at one family comps, two family comps, three family comps, whatever it is. I'll tell you, it's something called highest and best use.
Mhm.
What's the highest and best use for that site?
Oh, so maximize.
Maximize your profit.
maximize your profit. Yeah, that's what
If
I.
you're doing for investment purposes.
Yeah.
Right. So, in
What do you like
terms of-
better now, since you became an investor, a developer, advisor? Like, what became what needed to be done for necessity, which you developed the first brand because it fell into your lap, and now
Works
because,
hand in hand.
works
no,
hand in
but now he's older, mature, and now like your time just like a watch. You bought a Breitling that's 6 pounds, but now you wear a Patek that's 4 pounds. It develops. So, like, what do you like? You wake up in the morning. What do you rush to the first baby?
I wake up in the morning. I'll tell you like this. I rush to my kids.
Okay.
I say good morning to my kids. They
How does
sit
that
down
feel?
and they have breakfast. It's amazing. I don't rush to work when I wake up. I used to get up and I used to have emails and oh my God, phone calls and this and now I realized that you are the most important thing. So
How many you got first of all?
I got two.
Okay.
I got
boy, girl,
2
boy.
boys, 4 and 6.
Nice.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Julian and Asher. So
Nice.
they're my pride and joy.
As they should be.
Yeah, amazing kids. But I wake up, I go to them first. My wife tends to them in the morning. I wake up and they sit down having breakfast. We have a little conversation as a family. Get our day going, and then and only then do I really get to work. And I don't really rush to the office anymore. I'm able to open up my phone, my laptop, and answer emails, whatever it is. Pick up phone calls, call people back.
How long did that start? When did you feel comfortable enough that your business is there? It's not gonna go nowhere. And now it's
after
time
my office
for,
burned down, I was left officeless for a little bit. So in that transitional stage, I kind of regrouped and I was like, you know what, I'm killing myself. I was killing myself. Like Boris said,
Of course.
he knew I was in my office 20 hours a day. 18 to 20 hours, and it was a lot. But I like to make sure that my clients are always happy, things are getting done, and I wasn't wasting my time doing something else. I would rather work. I would put in that work, make that money, so I can get to where I needed to be. I had goals and plans, and
You invested a lot of your time, and as it should be, any business owner should own up, put in 18, 20 hours a
But now
day.
he's saying he's not.
Now,
So-
listen.
so-
Okay,
so-
now he's at a stage where he can
I eased up a little bit.
lean back a little bit.
Yeah.
He already has his steady flow. He already knows what he's worth. Instead of taking 50 jobs, let's say a month, he will take 10 jobs, which will give you the same value.
Yeah, I mean, because now I charge a little bit more. You know, before
you
I
should.
Because your company got a name now.
not only that, but I mean, I myself have more experience.
Yeah.
I understand things a lot better. I rationalize differently.
Of course.
You know, it's know your worth type of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
How many you got working for you now?
right now it's 3 people. It's me, my mentor, who's my commercial appraiser, and I have another guy that works with us. So it cut down, but it's okay. You know,
if you don't need,
it
then
cut down
you
because
go.
of competition, or you
No.
made that decision?
no, it's
Because he's focusing on the other
I'm
things.
focusing. Yeah, I
ValueTruth
started
also.
focusing more on the brokerage. So I'm trying to grow that right now. We're looking for agents. You know, we're looking for other brokers. We're looking for agents. So we're trying to grow that. It's
That's why I asked. I'm like, what do you like now? Well, obviously it shows that he's more hungrier in that field because is it
it's
attracting you, or
it's different. It's very different. You know,
or you feel the competition?
it's
prove something to yourself.
do I want to prove? I think I proved everything to myself already.
I think he's just exploring
At this
different
point, yeah.
opportunities and he's enjoying the ride.
Yeah, at this point, I'm exploring different opportunities, enjoying the ride. Me personally, I like the whole advisory and consultant aspect of the business. You know,
So when
I
are we
like
getting
to
a
help
book?
people make money. You know, I've made a lot of millionaires in the past, and I'm sure Boris can attest to that. And,
Amen.
you know what's up too. You know, I help people. You know, I explain things to people. I help people that don't know the real estate market, don't know what moves to make or how to make that move. That's why I'm here, and that kind of gives me a sense of fulfillment.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Knowing that I can help someone else make money at the same time, make money doing it.
Yeah.
And get
you know,
paid, yeah.
and get paid. Yeah, so that's what it's about. You know what I mean?
That's his calling, baby.
That's how I see it.
Listen, everybody, you have to go through 60 jobs before you find what you like. He found it quicker than some, which is
Well,
is
I
beautiful.
did a lot of things when I was younger.
I know, man. Waitering, this, that.
I did a lot of things.
I
lot
know.
of things.
I was there. I was there.
Laundromat and oh my god.
But I think that's what makes us better, no?
yeah, that whole experience. You know, that whole experience of going through.
Would you
different
let your
things,
kids
different.
have that experience?
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. I think it's very important for kids to experience different types of jobs, work for different types of bosses, to see what they're capable of.
Absolutely.
How strict are you?
Me, I'm pretty strict.
Or you're a softie?
No, I wouldn't say I'm a softie or super strict, but I'm, I like things done a specific way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Am I lenient? Yeah, because, I don't believe in really being an asshole. You know what I mean? Like being an asshole with your kids or with anybody doesn't get you far.
It's it's how you say things,
Yeah.
not what you say. It's how you say it. There's a few ways that you can say the same thing, and it's how you say it really how it's gonna matter.
I'm strict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Shabbatach, like
It happens, but I tend to sometimes they be standing on the wall.
Overboard.
strict at all times.
No, but a majority of the time.
Mhm.
I just feel like I don't know. Maybe I was like that, and
You want discipline.
I think that's what the society at this moment now.
It's always needed.
Once you let go, I feel like they grab onto everything else much more quicker than.
But you have to be careful. You can't be too strict because then they're gonna lie.
Yeah.
You have to
Okay.
be careful. There is a certain approach. Yes, they have to know who's daddy, who's papa, who's mama. Definitely,
My wife is soft, man. She's like,
that's good. But as long as she says papa's coming home,
yeah, that-
they know what's up.
I get the
And
phone
that's
calls
how I
like
have
these
it.
4 times. I don't know what to do. Look at them. They're like. So,
important.
but my parents were very strict. My mother was more the stricter one, but I felt like where I am now, that is because of that. I knew my
Absolutely.
boundaries. There's certain things I knew I could cross, and there's certain things I was like, fuck, I'm fucked. Like I'm coming down, and
I'm getting a beating.
I'm getting that ass waxed.
Listen, it happened to all of us. Even though my father never beat me, I don't think he ever touched me. But his face tore me apart. If he gave me the face, that's it.
That look. It's
That
like,
look.
look?
Da-da-da.
That's it. I'm
listen, I used to hear,
screwed.
сейчас папе скажу. Сейчас папа придет.
That's it. That's it.
It was,
It's how the wife really plans you, and that's it. That's what it is. I tell you that it plays a big role. So, one last thing. What would you advise our young adults who want to make quick money today? What would you advise them do?
first thing I would say,
Based on your
there's no such thing as quick money.
That's
Right.
what, this is what the young adults, young kids now, they want to make that quick money.
Yeah, in order to make quick money is a lot of risk. You know,
Absolutely.
it's very high risk to make quick money. But I would say focus on the things that make you happy rather than making money. You know, because if you're happy, you'll make money. If you like what you do, you'll make money. But if you're waking up every day and you're trying to figure it out and you're depressed or you're sad or you don't like to, you don't want to go to work, you're not gonna make money. You're not gonna. It's not gonna get you anywhere. You know what I mean? So what do I recommend? I recommend reading, making sure that you know,
As much as possible.
as much as possible.
You read regularly?
I tend to pick up different books like every couple of weeks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So what was the last book you read? Like, what would you recommend that really turned a knob in your life?
Think and Grow Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Very inspirational book.
Really?
It kind of
Open
gives
up
you
your
a
mind.
different, it gives you a different shift in your mind. The book Unfuck Yourself, that to me was,
Really?
yeah, let go of every shit that kind of fucked you in life and go back to the way that you were before you got fucked.
But that's what molded you to become who you are today also,
Yeah.
if you think about it.
Yeah.
And it's okay to get screwed here and there, but it made you.
It's like the saying is like, when you see a pregnant woman, you don't know how many times she got fucked before she got to be pregnant, you know? So it's just like in business, no? You don't know how many times a successful person got fucked until he got to that
Absolutely.
position.
Yeah.
So
And that's normal.
Listen, I took a lot of hits. There was companies that were sending me appraisals that shut down. They owed me 50,000, 40,000, and they just closed up their doors, said goodbye,
Sayonara.
and there's no way that I could have recouped that, and it was just loss.
what would you tell your younger self at this time if you went back in time?
Go to law school.
Go to law school. Listen, I think law
what I-
is good for any industry.
Yeah, I would say, even now, it's
Would you
it's
wanna
never
be-
too late.
Would you want to be a mentor to somebody?
Always.
Well,
I'm a mentor right now.
How would you, okay, so so what attracted you to that person? Is it because of what he promised you, that he's going to be with you, or is that you saw a character, something that reminded you of what is the trait
So
that you...
over the years, I've mentored. I would say I mentored about like 7 or 8 individuals. That came through my office. Some of them, I just took on because they were looking to learn, and I said no problem. Others, I saw certain characteristics in them that I thought would be beneficial for my business and beneficial for them. Like my knowledge would be beneficial for them as well. So I kind of went through different types of people.
Okay.
And different types of experiences through other people that I mentored. But it's a sense of fulfillment. Like somebody's learning off of what you are teaching them,
Right.
and they're able to either become better than you.
Which is actually a proven fact. If you're mentoring somebody, they come better than you. You did your job right.
You did your job right? Yeah.
So in the end, when you said you finished for being a teacher, in the end, you're still using that talent of just doing it in a different way.
Yeah, just doing it in a different way. Like I didn't like teaching in
that environment.
schools in that environment, the high school setting. But like I offer courses right now. Like I offer classes to individuals. Like
Where they find that online, you have something taped or
no, it's not online. It's it's in person, in office. I have people often call me. They're like, "Yo, I want to learn this. I want to learn that." In the real estate game, it's like, listen, I can set you up for a class. Come into the office, 3 times a week or 2 times a week.
and this is on the house, or is there a fee for that?
No, there's a fee for that. Yeah, it's the same as consulting,
Got
same
it.
as advising, consulting and stuff. There's a fee for that.
But if you find that one person, will you take them on as like
Pro bono?
no problem. Like I like you, I feel like you will become. Is there something? Are you looking for that? That one person that you think that?
I haven't came across somebody like that yet.
Okay.
But if
What are the features? What do you feel like? Does he have to be an immigrant? Does he have to be I don't know,
a go-getter,
a go
hustler.
like I don't know, like there's certain trades, like I feel like we had trades that people when we used to speak to other older people and they're like, dude, you're gonna
be something.
You're
right?
gonna
Yeah.
be something.
How many times you hear that in life? A lot, right? Yeah.
You're gonna be that guy.
Yeah. And I felt like that inspired me a lot. And I've had many different businesses as well. You're experimented in many different businesses. And like we just spoke about, and I felt like that gave me that, like, wow, I'm different, and I should definitely take a risk at something. If it doesn't work out,
At least you tried.
so are you looking for that? Like, where are you from your scale of 1 to 10? The things that you wanted to accomplish. Where are you? Like,
I'd say I'm at a 7 right now.
so what are you besides? What are we hunting for next? Like, what is gonna be that?
What's
8
next in line?
Yeah, like, are you want to improve in family? Do you want to be, or do you want to do something more greater than this? Do you want to take the company to a bigger thing? Like, what is the next thing that,
Or you want to dabble and try something different.
like, what is the new inspiration?
I definitely am always thinking about trying different things, right?
Mhm.
But right now, it's really I'm focusing on growing the real estate firm. I'm really thinking about commercial real estate,
Developing and having something like leaving something.
portfolio type of thing. Acquiring, managing, developing, things of that nature. I would say.
Nice.
What are your hobbies? What do you like?
Right now, my main hobby is my kids. Making
Okay.
sure that I dedicate enough time with them. I try to instill my knowledge base into them.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like that's something that
Are you taking
really drives me.
Are you taking them to work with you, or like how? What's the whole
Yeah.
process?
I think it's too early.
They come to my office. They
They come, but
they come to my office all the time. They hang out. They Papa, I want to work with you. Papa, let me do this. Papa, let me do that.
And the
So-
oldest one is how old? You said
6.
Things.
6.
Just turned 6. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my youngest. Because I take my daughter with me to work. Like, she's 11. Then I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. But the 11-year-old I take to work with me. She stays on the register. This is that.
Nice.
But that's a
good.
2-hour thing, and then they die out.
Yeah.
Now my middle one, the 8-year-old, he's nonstop. He's going with my workers. Can I help you? Can I help you? So I'm trying to
He's energized.
make him understand the value of the dollar they spend.
Right.
Because,
That's very important.
Because Daddy, buy me slime. Yeah, dude, that slime is $13, and then you forget it on the table without putting it back. It dries in 2 hours, man. There goes your $6.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So your plan is to give him that experience,
Yeah.
or
I
you're
mean,
gonna.
it's very important for me to kind of teach them, how money works, teach them how the real estate market works, teach them how the economy works. It's right now that's my driving factor. That's really what I'm focusing on. But aside from that, my other hobbies, reading. I read.
You listen or you actually read?
No, I read.
Okay,
I actually read. Yeah, I do the audiobooks too.
I love
know?
those.
I do the audiobooks too especially when I'm driving. I drive a lot for this.
yeah.
I just went
I'm
through
all over the place.
I love
Insane.
that whole like autobiography thing about the ex-military and the Holocaust thing. I go through 3 books a week.
Wow.
I got some cool. I mean, you probably more into business and stuff like that, but the last one I just read, I'll tell you, I gotta go through because in Long Island this is the new one. I'm just about to start.
Mm.
What is
So
it?
it's an undercover cop who infiltrated the black
the gang
mafia.
of
So
life.
he was one of the, even though like there was a racial situation going on at that times, but he was able to prove the loyalty to the police force and able to take down, because he was so obsessed about black people being like overcome with drugs and stuff like that. But interesting stuff. But I love listening more than actually reading.
Awesome.
What else?
It's a lot easier.
What else? That's it. I think we are good today, Mr. Oleg. Thank you very much. Thank you for being
definitely.
here.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely.
Wish-